Hi class. Okay, so I was looking over the sources that you guys were using for week 4, and some of you were using the .com sources, so please do not those are not valid, reputable sources unless it's in newspapers. For example, you get it from, I don't know, an article from the New York Times or from the Washington Post. Other than that, .com sources are kind of, I don't know, it's a no-no to use them in the sense that information probably is not correct, or that, they're not using good sources themselves to do their research. For next week, that is for week 5, you need to write your annotated bibliographies. What is an annotated bibliography? Well, you take a source, one of the sources that you chose, and then what you do is you write at the top the APA citation, and then you need a solid paragraph explaining what the source is about. So, what is that article about? So, I, who will not read the whole article, will get a good idea of what the article is about if I read your annotated bibliography. Okay, so I would really ask you if you could please do them properly. I will give an example, annotated bibliography, a sample in the announcement area. I will ask you to don't, at the end of your annotated bibliography, you need to have like a sentence or two explaining how that source is pertinent to your research, right? So, regardless of what you write in that whole paragraph, you need to explain how that source is useful to you, right, for your paper. Um, please be mindful that it needs to be, I do deduct points if it's short, if it doesn't look right, if it doesn't have an APA citation. So I'm giving you a sample, and that sample is actually going to be a good length, and it's going to be properly done. So please go over it and have a look. Skimpy little annotated biographies of, let's say, 3 or 4 sentences won't do. Okay, because you really need to tell us what that article is about, what the arguments are, the research inside of it. What is it valid, and how valid is it? How new is the research? Sometimes you're going to use a source that's from a long time ago and a source from now, and then maybe compare how things have changed, how research has changed, and so on. So please, for the annotated bibliographies, first look at the sample that I will post and then begin writing them. Of course, annotated bibliographies you will be doing for the sources that you have already chosen, unless it's a .com. I really, really sincerely need to ask you not to use the .coms and to just go to the library. We have a wonderful library, online library, so you can contact the librarian if you cannot find your sources by yourself. So you can do good research with our own library without using the .coms. Okay, because when I see like 5 or 6 sources from the .com domain, what I think of is that you just went online, chose 5 links, posted it, and that is not research. Okay, and I think, mention that in the post. I will not award points for that. Okay, anyway, so the same thing with the sources, right? If with the annotated bibliographies, if you do that, then it's not going to be good. Anyway, so I told you everything. I will have another video about the whole week, so there you go. Thanks.